Spinning is pretty much fine. So after this, you can actually kick this to
Hmm.
claim the corner, or you can just leave it as it is. So later in the game, you can invade here.
But if I invade there, oh, am I already not weak? Like you'll just make, I'll have to keep running outside and you
No.
will.
So like I'll show this invasion here. So the normal sequence is like this. Usually if there was not this stone here, you had to do a hane, but because that stone is there, you can play here. So if white goes down, you can cut.
But won't 1 and 3 die?
It doesn't matter because you're getting a solid corner in exchange of that.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So in Sente also, because now white has to kill this one, so you get Sente. So
Oh, and what? Acha, white has to kill it because if he doesn't, hey, but
yeah,
if he
if
doesn't,
if
then
white plays somewhere else, these two stones just die.
yeah, yeah.
So, and if you want to live here, you can play here, or maybe first you can play here. If let's say white blocks you play here, then you can do this. That way white has had to connect because now this is like black.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Hmm.
about this move, okay, this is the wrong side to approach. Okay,
Acha.
so where would white want an enclosure? Here or here, right? Or
Oh,
maybe
sorry,
here.
why?
Because like this is a and this is a corner enclosure. Okay, so this
Hmm, hmm, hmm,
says that white is getting at least this much of territory.
hmm, 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 hmm. Got it.
After sorry, after black reduces it a little bit, white will surely get this much of territory, right?
Hmm,
So
yeah, yeah,
remember, opponent's best move is our best.
yeah.
So you can approach low or high. So for the low approach, this is the Joseki. You know this Joseki.
Oh, I, I mean, this looks familiar to another
Yes.
Joseki I know. This one is a little different.
So that was for this one. Uh, let's
I think that
say
is
black kicks.
no, no, not this one. But I know which one you're talking about. I mean, I see the one you just mentioned. The one
Mhm.
I'm talking about is where there's like a knight's move that attaches and then you pull back after the honey.
Like this.
Something like this. Kind of. Even this is
So
not it exactly, but
the thing is that this is a 4/4 stone by black. So if black kicks now, white has to go up and black plays a knight and white takes a base. But there's a vulnerability though. That is later, let's say white has some stones around, somewhere
hmm,
around here or somewhere nearby. Okay. Let's say after some
hmm,
exchange, white gets some stones there, then white can play on the 3. And
hmm.
if black plays here, white can play here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
sequence like this happens.
Hmm, hmm,
So I don't really recommend this kick very. So this one is called a kick,
yep,
and
yep.
the reason white has to do a nobi to the center is because if you don't do the nobi and just make a base, later when you do this, White can just cover. Sorry,
Okay.
black can just cover. Maybe you can try to split and fight, or
Hmm.
you can just play here and take the corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because now the cutting points here aren't working.
Uh, why is P4 not working?
If you play here, black just connect.
Acha, okay. You're saying right now because okay, but for example, if at some point Q3 was played or something, I would have to protect. Right, right. Okay.
It's fine. Like white won't keep cutting like this multiple weak points.
I have double Atari if he does this. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But when you go up,
Hmm.
then later when you do this, now there's this cutting point. So the strongest response here would be to make this bad shape that completely denies that no white, I won't let you in there, and you can just think of six as a probing move or sacrificing move. So you don't have to think much about it, just sacrifice that if black plays this.
Hmm.
And there's a another thing I'd like to mention, that is that so this was black's area, right, the corner, and
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
played a stone inside and black also played a stone inside,
So it's equal.
so it's equal, so don't get
Yeah.
over attached to that one stone.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So in case black makes some other choices, then you can do this. So that's a very good result for you. And there's also this sequence as well.
Hmm.
But for the 3-3, sorry, not 3-3, for the 3-4 stone, when you get approached, this is pretty much like there are no vulnerabilities for white here because this was
Hmm.
a 3-4 stone. So after this,
Acha, so
white
since you
gets,
have two, three, four stones, I can't go to 3-3. I would already lose two liberties.
yeah,
That's the idea. Hmm.
yeah. So let's say if you go here now, like what would be white's best move? What do you think?
Um, I would probably like either I would probably do either D16 or like some D18 or something.
Like
Actually, I think
D16.
D16
After
is best, right?
this is fine.
This is fine as in it's fine for white.
Yeah, like black still needs to fix.
Hmm.
And in case, let's say you played here, then black tries to force something in there by playing here, or you just capture.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
And this is
this is
also
the,
good for black in terms of getting like a base on the left side, right?
yeah, yeah. So
So
this
so it's kind of
Joseki,
equal.
so in this Joseki, whoever approaches doesn't get sent because they have to make a
Hmm.
base. So
Yeah.
now white gets sent.
Hmm.
So this is the
Hmm.
low knights approach and this is the high approach. And for high approach as well, I would show only one variation, that is to attach here. Black plays
This is
here.
the one I was talking about. Yeah, I know
So
this one.
pretty
So this is
similar,
on the
but
higher.
here white corner is a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is the wrong side. And this is also a wrong move. I just played it. I was just testing you.
Acha.
Yeah.
Because what I know is that in this kind of shape, if the person with the Nobi is better off, right? Like that's what
Yes.
I had read
Yes.
on Senseis or something. So I thought. I'll make that shape just to.
This is not this one. Yeah, this is the reason that I showed you in the corner. That if you have a nobi, then later you can try to reduce the corner by doing an invasion and sacrificing.
Hmm.
This is fine. This is fine.
I'm also playing a lot on fourth line, and in the middle of the game, I felt like I should not be on the fourth line. I should be on the third line.
It's fine. So
Hmm.
here, this is like either side you pick, it's fine. So if you had picked that side, this would be the Giuseppe, and maybe you can play it. So this way you would be building your Moyo on the top,
Yeah, yeah.
and the way you played after this, to complete the Joseki, you play here. White can
Oh,
play here or here, and black plays here, and this is the end of the Joseki.
okay.
So here you're building your Moyo to the left side. So either way is fine in this situation. So generally, when we get invaded in 3-3, we have to think which side should we pick. So we pick the side where we can build a Moyo.
So sorry, what was the what you said when we play 3-3?
So when we get invaded in 3-3 like this,
Hmm.
we have make choose a side, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we
Ah,
pick the
right, right. So I
side,
wanted the right side on this game. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
Correct.
here don't let your opponent do Hane on the head of two stones.
Hmm. Hmm.
So the Joseki goes like this. After this, because this was the pincer variation,
Hmm.
so you had this stone, white approaches, you pincer. Then white goes to the 3-3. Here,
Yeah, yeah.
after this, you try to connect with the M17 stone with this shape.
Try to connect to the M17 stone.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Ah,
So
okay, okay. Double like two
like
knights moves. Yeah.
making a wall.
Okay. So I've seen this kind of a shape before, right? This one. Why does M15 is it? I mean, M15 can cut, right?
Yeah, M15 can cut, but
So
in
then
this
I'm not really
position,
connected, right? Oh, sorry. Yes, yes.
you don't have to be connected. So let's see. You have a wall, right? Even with that disconnected, this
Hmm.
is considered a wall, and white has only one stone, so you can attack this stone.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
now comes direction of play. Which side you can build a mono? Which side, top or right?
I would build a Moyo on the right.
Then you can do Atari here. You can keep pushing. After that, you make a defensive move. White still has to run, right? White doesn't have time to cut you. So while he's running, you
I'm just
can
building thickness.
keep
Hmm.
building your mono. Or maybe
Hmm.
even this is fine.
But so in this case, would it have been better at like after move 9 to just abandon the eighth, the white stone at 8 and just say that's not working and just move on to something else?
Yeah, so right now, if like if you're white, you can take an enclosure. Very important.
And just give that up. Give up M15. Yeah, yeah.
So here you've got a very nice. Both of the black groups are very strong, right? They won't die, right?
Hmm.
So even if I try to get this cutting stone out, it's not actually separating any weak group from a strong one. So that
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
not really a cutting stone, it's a useless stone. So it's better to sacrifice it.
Yeah, yeah. But if I let it go, if I don't capture it now, then I have a problem if you play N14, right? Because that ladder doesn't work.
Play at
N14.
N14 here.
Hmm.
Just capture.
Oh, I can just capture. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Got it.
You can capture, you can run this out, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
won't really recommend this.
Running it out because
Also,
I'm giving you presence in the center.
yeah,
Hmm, hmm.
and also approach same
So
with the
my
top left.
and then if you but if you pincer and I'm at a 3-4, I can't go to C2, right?
Like if white pincer.
Huh.
Okay. For now, I won't show this Joseki variation. Okay. When
That's why I didn't approach. This one looked very complicated.
so try to approach whenever there's an so this is considered an open corner still kind of because white hasn't
Hmm.
enclosed it. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
strongly recommended that if you don't have any urgent moves and there's a non-enclosed corner, approach it. Because just by enclosing
Hmm.
the corner, white will be getting a huge amount of territory.
And in case, this I understood the knight's move enclosure. I think that was there on Go Magic also. So basically,
Yeah,
if it's not enclosed, it's an open corner, and I should play there. And in
yeah.
case it is 4-4 instead of a 3-4 point, if it's a three
So,
three point, that means it's already enclosed, right?
so it's this one.
Hmm.
Yeah. Mhm.
So now in this case, when do I consider that white has enclosed the corner? I think they had
So
mentioned like you have to play
for
two
the
moves, but
force
it was a
stone,
little vague.
you need to
Hmm.
play two moves to enclose this. Why? Because here black can't really live with a 3-3 variation, but this is a co-fight. Whoever
Hmm.
wins the co takes the play.
Hmm.
Only if you uh, have played both stones, then black cannot do anything right now.
Um, and two stones, like, are there any specific places where then I can consider yes, it's enclosed? Like for example, if white did two knights moves, like instead of four at c5, if four was at c6, then it's not enclosed, right?
You can still say it's enclosed, but it's a bit loose. So there could be
Hmm.
RG, it could be reduced more.
Hmm.
So here,
Understood.
in this, not this one, in this case, it's more tightly enclosed.
Yeah, yeah. So at that point, if white knows what they are doing, I can't play like 3-3 invasion after those two stones are also there.
No, and you shouldn't. You should look for bigger moves
Hmm.
because white spent an extra move to enclose the corner. That means you are getting Sente.
Yeah, yeah.
Use Sente well. So here
Hmm.
also, so always remember to approach it and try to. And if you get approached, try to play this Soseki till the point of time when this becomes natural.
Kick, and then after Nobi, 1 point jump, and they'll go 3 points. Three-point jump.
Yeah.
Three.
So this is basically you get kicked, you go up, and now white
Hmm.
makes a base and black takes a base.
Yep, yep, got it. So, sorry, at D8 now, I felt like I messed up at D8. I felt I should have played C8 instead.
Uh,
Then I
but
spent three more moves trying to play at C also.
this this is not fine as well. Like white can still take the enclosure. Like you get a base, but you are
Hmm.
not really doing much to white.
Hmm. Okay.
So
So my original plan, actually, so I think because it's on the lower side, it was like कि maybe I was attacking the corner, but my thought process was of playing at D10 to split your side because I didn't think about like corner is still open. So
all right.
I was thinking of playing at D10, but then I thought if you approach me from the right side, sorry, from the bottom, then I can't really go up. So then I went down two spaces so that whichever way you approach me from, I have a two-step jump. Like that was my thought process. But
Yeah, but
I don't know if
we always approach an enclosed point. Like later in the
of
game,
course.
I played here, right? Because this is still not tightly enclosed.
But had I played at, let's say,
This
P3,
one.
then this is fine. But even though it's attaching, it's still considered like it could be enclosed.
Yeah, but because of white shape here, white can later try to see if you are willing to make mistakes or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Here, you can pick up the territory, and white isn't really picking up much. White is doing nothing useful. There's better things white can do instead of just pushing. So
Hmm.
don't see weaknesses like this. Like I could just be you can save only one, or if you run this out, I can take that out. So
So I should have played this instead, is what you're saying.
you need to keep
P14.
extending unless there are no more honey on the head of two and three stones left. So this is the
So,
maximum amount you should extend after this. Still, if white plays here, you can just ignore now because
so,
now this
huh.
honey doesn't do anything.
But also, I give you a lot of thickness on the center by doing this.
Yeah, but let's say what can white play right now to do something?
They can probably extend all the way to like J13 or something, maybe more.
Say 13, but where's the territory? Is white making territory? You're canceling out
Hmm.
white's potential. So the
Hmm.
thing is
Hmm.
that white's wall is kind of facing an empty space, but it's also facing black stones. So it isn't very effective.
I see. I see. So yeah, I usually just think of it as like basically that at line 16 is where my influence as black ended. I didn't realize I can just put a knight's move in and you know at least throw a wrench in white's move.
So at this point, instead of if you just think that white is getting some influence, just play here. Now it doesn't look good
Hmm.
for white. Even if
Hmm.
white
Hmm.
pushes,
Hmm.
you're
Hmm.
fine. So you see we're extending this much. Let's go back. So we extend once because we don't want honey on the head of two stones and then three stones. After this, we're fine, right? Have you seen this situation anywhere else?
See in this situation.
Yeah, I can show you a variation. Wait, this was no point. You have this, extend once,
Hmm.
extend twice, extend thrice. After this, both can play away. You see this area, similar
Hmm.
thing. So the reason in this Joseki black extends is because we don't want Hane on the head of two stones because
Hmm.
white can double Hane. Same thing, no Hane on the head of three stones. So we extend once again, and now this is fine.
And uh, why is three and two stones bad, but not four stones?
Uh, See, you remember the proverb, right? Hane on the head of two or three stones.
Yeah, I remember the proverb. Yeah,
So this is basically the proverb. If you play away right now, Hane on the head of two stones,
yeah.
bad liberties
Hmm. Hmm.
because white can double Hane.
But okay, and then how can white? So if white double harness,
Mhm.
then what if black just plays R11, Atari? So then white
R
S13.
R R11 is this one. Oh,
Sorry,
sorry, you
R12.
said S this R12.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
after white connects, what can black do? Even if black Ataris, black still has to fix, and this is
Hmm.
white's
Hmm. Hmm.
area.
Hmm.
So that's why we can
Yeah.
double Hane. And
Yeah. Yes, I see it.
same thing happens with the Hane on the head of three stones as well because it gives us bad liberties.
It gives you bad liberties because so that thing again still doesn't work. And I see. Oh, I see it. I understand. I think I
Let's say
understand.
you
So I
play
think
here, this gets captured.
it gets captured. Correct, correct, correct. It's that the T-shape kind of cut, and with a two, then you can do that little triangle kind of cut. So that's why two and three are bad, but four, you still have like two spaces to escape, even if it's cut twice.
So after this, even if they extend, you can ignore
Hmm.
because now this thing doesn't work.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you play like this, nothing. And I personally, in some cases, might not even tenuti. Like if my opponent wants to take 1 point
You'll keep taking it.
each
Yeah,
move,
yeah,
this is fine. I'm getting a huge wall.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's get back to the we were here. So here to play
Hmm.
this thing. After this,
So,
honestly, even white won't play here. White would take an interest.
so in this case, why don't I harness as black at the head of three
Here,
stones, which would be O12?
okay.
Yeah.
Now I
Except
wanted
I
to
would have
see.
had the cutting point.
Okay. So if white harness, both of these
No, no, I'm
sides are
saying black
taken by.
harness.
Yeah, no. Let me explain. So if
Acha,
white
oh,
harness
sorry.
here, both of these
Hmm.
sides are taken by white, right?
Hmm.
Like this one and this one.
Hmm.
But when black harness, white is strong. It's connected. It's not a cutting
Hmm.
point, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So it's not a problem in this case.
I
But
understand.
in some other case, it you could do this.
Yeah. Am I able to leave comments or something here so I can remember this? I don't have my notebook.
I'm recording the review. I'll just upload it in my channel.
Acha, okay, okay.
So this I would say the first big mistake kind of thing.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
After this is fine. Uh, this is fine for critical. You don't need to play there. So that's what I was saying in the game chat that uh, it's nice you're staying connected, you're defending, but you're defending sometimes when it doesn't need defense
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
because This cut is a ladder.
Yeah, yeah.
So you don't need to defend. So I would rather say you to go down here, trying to threaten
Mm,
white's corner because you see white stones are all on the fourth line,
mm,
and for a long time I was waiting for you to do something there, but in the end I just closed this off.
yeah. Mm,
So this move that I made in the beginning, it was with the intention that later after let's say 20-30 moves you would do something around this area that you didn't.
mm, mm,
Yeah. So this is a Joseki. Okay, just take this area. Okay. So let's say white
mm,
approached and black did a nice move back off.
mm,
So before AI, this was the Joseki. After the let's say this stone is not here. After this, white takes a base. Now both has a base and black has Sente.
mm,
But this is after AI. This is a AI Joseki. It's pretty much similar. So after this, you Atari and you connect and white connect. Now you get two options. You can keep white low if you want to build a moyo, or if you just want your corner, you can play at B. So according
okay.
to this board, I would say getting a moyo is much bigger. So keep pushing,
Mm,
trying to enlarge your moyo, and even if white tries to take this, okay. So here's this sequence that what happens when white tries to take this stone. Okay, you don't have to memorize it, but we'll just go through it once. So the first thing you do is you extend. Then when white plays here, you play. This is considered that these two black stones are captured and black can play somewhere else. Sorry, white can play somewhere else.
White can play somewhere else. But if white plays somewhere else, can't I just go
Oh wait,
T4?
sorry. Yeah, white can play here.
Ah, okay, okay.
After this, the black can play somewhere else because
Yes.
it's it's you
Yep, yep.
can keep playing somewhere else because this is just one stone. But
Mm,
this is still the right idea. Here, what I would have liked you to do is maybe trying to enlarge your moyo somehow, or fix this shape, or go down here. So I think this would be my first choice. This is second and this is third.
mm, mm,
This is fine. I just took. Now I'm saying that this is my area.
mm, mm,
This is not good. Okay. So always try to expand your base. Always try to expand your base.
mm, mm.
Fine, you could play on this side as well. You could actually attach here and play like this. green, but after this, uh, the solid connection, and definitely right now you can do something like even it's a very bad move like this, and you just have one stone. Now you can just play lightly to reduce the moyo,
Hmm. Yes. Yeah.
or maybe you can what else? You can do attachment, kind of similar purpose. Either connect here or connect here.
Hmm.
After this, we can so instead of poking at this cutting point like this, we can play like this. So this is still poking at it because if white plays away, let's say after something, you can cut.
You can cut. Yeah.
So let's say white does something here, and again you can play lightly like this or this.
Hmm.
So your goal here is that you can sacrifice two or three or four stones as long as you're not letting white get something big.
Hmm. 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 Yep.
This peak, I would say I'm really conflicted about it. You could have played here like this. So
Hmm.
after this you can go back. But if white goes here, it's a problem. You can play like this because this cut doesn't work, right? What
Oh.
you do is poke, if you connect, you can try to take away your eye space. So let's say you cannot make two eyes here, but you can surely make one eye. And you can look for another eye in the center because the center is pretty much open.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I'm also treating this stone as a light stone. I don't really need to save it, but it's there
Hmm.
and it's there for a purpose. It is that, let's say, if right now the sector line is here because of that stone. So if
Yeah.
black
Yeah.
tries to invade here, I can push from here and try to surround black and might be able to eventually kill it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Here, this is fine. I'm still treating it as a light stone because right now I have redrawn the border line or the sector line. That is this. Here I could have played here, but then maybe black can play on the sector line somewhere here. I have to fall back. Maybe you can also play lightly. So white gets reduced a little bit. So this is not yet a forcing move. So don't capture.
Hmm.
One thing I was thinking of is how about you create cutting points? Though white can just fix them, like if white fixes there, this is still fine, but white gets reduced a little bit. And if white makes a mistake and forgets to defend some cutting points, that usually can happen at your level. So you might get a chance. So that's why I always try to create cutting points like this.
Hmm.
So whenever your opponent forgets to defense and becomes greedy, let's say white becomes greedy and tries to get even more. Maybe you can try to cut and see what happens. You see, you can break into white's area. But honestly, at this point, yeah, white's moyo is very big.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can do shoulder hits to reduce a bit. And from this side, maybe you can still play here like this. But this is too late to invade or reduce a lot.
Hmm. Hmm.
So always keep an eye like what is white trying to do right now. White is trying to make a move and trying to close the move, right? This is the
Hmm.
perfect time when white needs maybe two more moves this to close this moyo. That is probably the correct time to do a reduction or an invasion. So I always prefer reductions than invasions because in invasions if you die then that's an instant loss, and in reductions it's much safer, so you don't suffer as much as like with dead invasions.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right now, even this, no, no, sorry, I won't really recommend it. Yeah, I would still recommend something here.
Okay.
Like you see, like white, if white tries to surround this stone, you can it's just trying to
I
surround
don't
here.
see how I can. But even if I tried like let's say G10 now, I can get cut at
C10.
F10.
No, I won't play G10. Like I'm saying
Okay.
that you have ways to escape. So let's say white is trying to connect, not connect, cut off this connection. You can attack.
Okay.
So let's say if white just does this, you can connect back. Okay, maybe you
Hmm.
can sacrifice two stones inside because if white doesn't harm it, you can start making shape. Like white still needs to play here, you can play here. You see?
No, but even if this happens, I can't live here. I mean, I'll max make one eye.
Okay, let me try to kill this. That would be hard to live.
Hmm.
But the reason I said that is because it's DDK level. Like
Hmm.
very
Hmm.
few players can kill off stuff easily.
Okay.
Uh, so after this, when we play this and we get poke, we can do this. Try to make ISO here, getting the connection maybe. Now try to play here. So you're sacrificing some part of it while trying to find eyes with the other one.
Hmm. Hmm.
And honestly speaking, like I both love this area as black and as white as well. Like I love killing people who invade inside my mono, and I love living inside other people.
Yep. Yep.
The more you do it, the more confident you'll become that you can get something out of it.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And yeah, of course, we do a lot of scenarios. So another thought. Now let's say you thought that if you played this white surrounds, you can get captured, right?
Hmm.
You can change it just by one move. Now it will be hard for white.
Hmm.
You can even attach like this to start a fight. And in these situations, like when there's your stones nearby where you can connect to, I love making crosscuts. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but from crosscuts, a lot of cutting points appear and it helps me get good eye shape. So in this various, no, not
Hmm.
this one. Here I was just telling you from chef's perspective without attachments. Like this is the only attachment. But when I generally do stuff like this, I my first thought is to attach. Let's say if you try
And
to
but
cut
then
off
if
one side, I cross cut.
I see, I see.
But I wasn't telling that because I thought it isn't very beginner kind of theory. Like attachments in general aren't very beginner friendly. Like, things could go very wrong if you don't follow through with the correct move.
Hmm.
So after this, uh, it's not really much. Instead of doing this, you see, this white group is pretty like alive by itself. This is also alive by itself. So
Hmm.
with this move, you're trying to say that you're trying to separate two groups, but both of them are living. None of them are weak. So it's
Hmm.
not really doing something useful. Instead of this, you could try to do shoulder hit to reduce, or you can play end game on the second line like this.
Hmm.
This is about the time when we should start it. So
Hmm.
I wasn't really reading throughout the game. So for the longest time, I was thinking there might be something bad, so I had to fix this.
Hmm.
Don't go down like this. First, try to. So when it's end game, first try to use up all your centimes, like anywhere where you can get centi, like one, two, and you have three. After this, you can still leave this, and Maybe this is kind of simple. After all that, then you go back to code.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, this is simple. This is simple as well. So I'm honestly building very bad habits. Lately, I've been playing a lot of beginners like in real life on a 9 by 9, and while playing with beginners, I don't hit. So whenever I play a lot of teaching games frequently, my reading ability goes down.
Hmm. Hmm.
So see here, this is called a clamp. It's clamping on your stone. So if you go inside, you get cut off. But you could have tried to fight, sacrifice that stone. So always look for two things. So uh, from now on, every game you play,
Hmm.
and let's say whenever you're playing a move where you expect your opponent to do something, so that means you're playing a sente move. Always try to think of two things that that move can accomplish. So whenever one of like after your opponent responds, if one of those possibilities gets cut off, you can follow through with the second one.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So here look for two things. Like if you just connect, white is very happy. So try to see what would happen if you try to do this. After this, try to see what would happen if I connect here.
Hmm.
Play here because this card doesn't work. You don't need to fix that one. You can play a
I was worried about in case you played C7.
C7. This you just connect.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
thing
Hmm.
is, right now by connecting this, you're giving Sente to your opponent,
Yeah. Yeah.
where you could have kept Sente by playing Sente. So, especially in endgame, try not to lose Sente unless you have actually run out of Sente.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And who knows, maybe later, after most areas are done with, you can play here. That way you get to keep that point as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Here, I think this is fine. Or were you looking at this one? This is fine as well.
I think I gave up a couple of stones because I was worried that that whole block would get if I attached, then the whole thing
Oh,
would.
wait, you were in BGOME, right? But you were in your fourth BGOME. You still had four BGOMEs left. So you could sacrifice one or two BGOMEs to read it through.
Hmm.
I around that time I still had I think 3 minutes left on my main time.
So what I read over here was yes, yes. So I had seen that you could play Q14, and then I would play Q15 to save, and then you come in because you have Q13. But then I'll just block with this,
Just
right? Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's not that much damage. Right.
There
I
was
didn't see that.
another thing that I was thinking about, that is this cut. Like if it goes here, that goes, and if I block like this,
Then the other one goes. Yeah. Yeah.
so after this I was really happy. My worry is like for nothing now.
Yeah.
Uh, you could have played here as fine. After this you can there's so much left. So let's see if I don't defend here, what happens? Nothing really. So I defended
Hmm.
for nothing. Yeah, don't be like me. Always read.
Hmm. Hmm. I lost a game on timeout because I was reading too much. So
Yeah, don't read too much, but read. Like
yes, yes.
I didn't read at all probably in this thing. Yeah, I was like I wasn't reading. I was just worried about a cut here and this cut and in the beginning about this area. Apart from that, I wasn't thinking of anything else. So here, if I block right now, you get one extra point. Right? If I play here, you play here, so you get
Hmm.
G, and these are mi. So, but it's pretty much same because I get reduced
Yeah.
one point.
Hmm.
And but later I had this Senten move, so not much left of this game. Mm, okay, let's see what happens. Yeah, no, that wasn't the problem. Again, another one that I fixed. But if this was on the second line, then you definitely have to fix.
Hmm.
And that's the end of the game.
Hmm.
Okay, so right now I want you to look at the board. Say how many groups white has and how many groups black has.
White has one group. I mean, because nothing split apart,
So
and black
there's
has three. Right? Yeah.
I like to like there's a proverb that says don't make more than I think it says five groups, and if it's just one group it's even better. So it says that the more groups you have there, you will have more things to worry about. The
Hmm.
lesser the number of groups, the better you are. So since then I don't know, like the games I try to make shape where I can connect up all of the things. Unless I'm doing an invasion, so the invasion becomes a separate group.
Hmm. Hmm.
But honestly speaking, like you had multiple groups, but all of them are fine. Though I didn't severely attack anything because like I forgot to give a handicap. I thought that I won't be killing anything. So next time I'll give handicap.
How does that? How would handicap work for? I mean, you're like 13, 14 ranks above me.
So how I would start is I would start by giving two handicaps at first, and if
Okay.
you lose by more than 30 points, I would give another handicap in the next game. And if the same thing keeps happening, I would keep adding another handicap.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So I didn't use handicaps because I was playing on phone and it's very hard for me to see this big board on my mobile screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I thought that no killing. And also like recently even as black, if I play the points level opening, I don't so after this exchange, let's say this happens, I don't go for this invasion anymore because I've been playing for territory for a long time since I started playing with points level, even as white sometimes. So, uh, like April, I think, or maybe March, I switched to Moyos again.
Okay.
And honestly speaking, the main difference that I see right now between the two styles, like territory or influence, like territory, if you play for territory, there's a lot of invasions happening, multiple groups happening, and if you're playing for Moyo, there's probably one big invasion happening, and that would decide the fate of the game.
Hmm. Hmm. So as a beginner, what should I at least start off with? Should I play these 4 4 point kind of games, or should I stick to 3 4 points in close quickly and
So I would say till your maybe 7Q, if you're playing as black, you can play the points level. Okay.
okay.
So take an enclosure, a Joseki happens here. After this, you invade the one side where the enclosure happens. So you invade here.
Hmm.
So now
Yeah.
you may ask why we invade there, not the bottom one. It's because
Hmm.
you have this stone, so you can approach it. Let's say you
I
play
have,
the
sorry,
most
I have which, I have which stone so I can approach?
you have this
The
stone, the triangle.
That is only assuming that white plays this Joseki against me.
Yeah, but let's assume. So if that happens, this is good for you.
Okay.
You can try to play high as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
No, maybe this is fine. That's why we invade the one with the enclosure, the opposite side. And
And but would white when I do the 3 3 invasion, wouldn't white play C16 in this case instead of D16? Sorry, instead of D17?
so right now you can pick either side. Why? Because you don't have stones nearby, like as white.
I see. Okay,
If
okay.
you
It's
had
about the
stones
central
on
stones.
any of these sides, maybe even here or even here, so whichever side you had stones, you would pick that side to block it.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Right now you can just play like this. If you're playing for center as white, you can be like this and extend.
Hmm. Yeah.
And this extension is good because it's also blocking this extension from this enclosure.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
So I think I've told you about this, that if your opponent has an enclosure, block the extension, and if they have an extension, block the enclosure.
I see. Okay.
This is a old school concept, and it basically doesn't want that to happen, because otherwise it starts to look like a good potential for a framework.
Hmm, hmm.
So I would say if you're playing as black, you can keep playing like this. And let's say when you're not playing as black, you can still, let's say black plays like this, you can still play like this. Maybe 1-3-4, 1-4-4, trying to get the feel of both of them, like how a 4-4 would work, plus having a security of a 3-4, that no, you can take an enclosure, you can get a corner at least. So initially, when I started playing points lover as black, so during that time, whenever I got white, I used to play a 3-4 and a 4-4. So first I would pick a 4-4, then I would pick a 3-4. And so the things I would again ask you to is look for the moyo, okay? And don't let your opponent close the lid. You
Hmm,
should try to reduce it before your opponent closes the lid, because after that it would be too late.
hmm, hmm.
And another thing is, don't depend what doesn't need defense. Another thing is like trying to create the cutting point just in case. Okay, let me add something else to that as well. So try to visualize the sequence, and if you see that you're getting senpai, only then try to create the cutting point.
Okay.
That way you're not losing senpai as well. You can after this do something like this.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
If white just tries to do this, you can try to jump here and do a lot of stuff.
Hmm,
These are main three things. And another one is like go over the video a few times, or maybe just this review file a few times. See where the Josekis were,
hmm,
or let
hmm.
me just play the Josekis here as well. After this, you Atari connect, white connect. Now you can either take the corner, or if you have a use of wall, you can pick this one. Usually, like it's good to play here. The honey on the head of two or three stones like this. So if the white plays still here, now you can go back and maybe take this, or you can even play away, because black is pretty strong. It won't die, right?
Hmm, hmm.
Then this 3-3-1 pick, then the high one. You know the 3-3 variations, right?
Like the 3-3 invasion, or if you start at a
The
3-3?
3-3 inversion.
I know a couple of them. Uh,
You know this one?
this one, yeah. And then after four, then white plays away, right?
Yeah. And
And
in case black wants to keep the corner,
yeah,
just
then I cut again, but then they cross cut. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So here black gets the corner, but white gets that flower share, the ten whatever
yeah.
on Nuki on.
Corner. and let's say black wants to keep center,
Nice move. Yeah, yeah.
and if here instead of this white plays this, you have to play here Han on the head of 3, and after this now black has center, black can play.
Why can't White Hane back here on R7?
Yeah, this is a move for white, but I'm strictly speaking of the Joseki. The Joseki ends here.
No, sorry, I didn't
Because
understand this.
so Josekis are usually played in the beginning of the game.
Hmm.
So in the beginning of the game, playing here is not big enough. Like by playing here, we won't get a huge amount of points that we can
Hmm.
get by playing somewhere else. So for now, this is the end of the Joseki. So later in the game, when white gets Sente, uh, maybe then white plays this move and black connects.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's about it. And sometimes, no, let's not show this one. That one could get complicated. Like,
Okay, okay.
okay, so that this is it for this review, and we'll see you in the tournament at
Ah,
the
yeah,
start.
I should register for that one.
I'll upload the video tonight so you can watch it tomorrow as well.
Yep, absolutely. I'll do that.
See ya. Good night.
Yeah. Thanks, Soumya. See you. Good night.
You're welcome. Bye bye.